I have this small computer box
Mm-hmm.
and it runs on batteries, but they're super expensive. Like I literally have to spend like almost 2 KD to buy them, and I finally had a chance to buy it. So like a long time ago, I was playing with this and I had attached one of my motors and I had made it into like this. I had used two motors to combine into one pathway so
Okay.
that it would give maximum torque. Then
Mm-hmm.
I put a wheel on that pathway and then I connected the wires. And I was just playing with it because I didn't have the batteries for it. But when I pushed it really hard, then suddenly it on. I realized that this was able to generate electricity to on it, but not enough for the motors to turn. So so I kept on doing it. I kept on doing it, and then it started working. So what makes them be able to store the energy? Like where does it go? All of this electrical energy, which comes from this part, like from the motors. Where does the this device hold all of its electricity, which can later be then used? Like I was trying to know. That's why.
Okay, okay. See, good question. See, there are different types of batteries. Some of them have got chemicals in it. Okay, no, there are different
Yes.
types of batteries are there. So, like we have got the button cells are there. You have seen those circular buttons, right? Then you have the cells, double A or triple A size batteries are there,
Yeah,
right? Now,
double A, sir. Double A.
yeah, double A. So they basically are converting the chemical energy into electrical energy. Some chemical reactions are happening inside them, and those chemical reactions are releasing electrons. They are basically converting the
Yes.
chemical reaction is being converted into electrical energy. So that is how electricity is coming from. That is where from where electricity is coming from. In your eighth grade, when you go there, you'll be learning about some very important concepts like electrolysis, getting it. So there you will be a
Yeah,
list
we use
will be
electrolytes.
electrolytes are
Like
also
for
there.
example, electrolytes in the body that give us energy. Because if we
Uh,
have electrolytes, the more work we do, the more electrolytes we need.
exactly. So then it will be completely clear to you. Yes, Salman, you were saying something. You have raised your hand.
Sir, but by the way, does
Hold on,
this
Ibrahim.
contain any?
Hold on, Ibrahim.
Okay.
Yes, Salman.
Sir, electron, this word, my big sister, she is in 11th. She have this word electron.
Hmm. Electrons are basically the subatomic particles. They are found inside the atom.
Yes.
Atoms are the smallest particle in the universe. But within the atoms also, we have subatomic particles that are protons, electrons, and neutrons. Okay, no? Oh,
Sir,
Halima, the
like,
light is gone. You won't be able to connect. Okay, no issues, Halima. Yeah, Ibrahim, you were saying something.
I was thinking I also learned about something called capacitors. So could
Capacitors.
this contain capacitors? So could this contain capacitors? I was once watching a video and I heard something called supercapacitor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
I
so
learned also that Tesla coils are made when many strong capacitors they're connected to each other, so they increase the speed of they increase the voltage in the voltage power, like the voltage output quicker. So for example, if it's going to the more voltage you
mhm.
have to make if you're doing it on a thin wire, it's going to melt due to resistance.
Okay,
But
let me quickly
that it would
complete.
go
Quickly
faster.
summarize
That's
your question. Ibrahim, quickly
okay.
summarize your question. We need to quickly get back to the topic. Summarize your question.
Okay.
Uh, I mean to say, like, what exactly is the question? Shorten it.
The question is that what are supercapacitors?
Okay. You want to know what are super capacitors?
Yes.
Okay, see. Basically, super capacitors, they are kind of a energy storing device. In simple words, they are capacitors, but they will be able to store more amount of electricity and energy in them. Although Usually battery stores energy in them now. Battery stores energy in them through chemical reactions, right now. But there's a different concept used in supercapacitors. They store energy electrostatically, like they will be using a different type of concept, and they have long cycle life. Getting it? They are more durable and a longer lifespan. They can deliver and absorb energy much faster than batteries. So they are suitable in those applications, in those machines where a amount of energy is a quick amount of power is required. Like in a short span of time, high amount of power is required. So their capacitors are used, particularly supercapacitors are used. Getting what I'm trying to say?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's why when they keep the capacitors on the motors spin faster because they
Exactly.
get
That's the thing.
energy more.
Exactly. Yeah, so guys, we were learning about the vegetative propagation. About the vegetative propagation, we have learned that it's a type of asexual mode of reproduction in plants, in which the new plants will be able to grow from the parts of the plant, from the vegetative parts of the plant, right now. So where we have learned that new plants can grow from the underground modified roots, and that modified roots were being called as tubers, right now, tubers.
Yes.
So vegetative propagation can occur by the underground modified roots called as tubers, which stores food in them. Right? We have the example of sweet potato. Then we had the examples of underground stems. So there are
So this
different
is
modif.
reproduction in plants, right?
Yeah, obviously that's reproduction in plants. Okay. Halima, I will recommend you to please watch the recording. Okay. Yeah. So there are different type further classifications also about the underground stems. Like you have rhizome, you have tubers, bulbs, and corms. Okay, now all of them are underground stems, but they are slightly different from one another in the way how they look. Like ginger, they are very much different from potato. No, they look different. They grow differently. Ginger, it's an example of rhizome, which is a horizontal underground stem. It grows horizontally like this, and they are modified to store food in them. Right, so they have nodes in them. They have nodes in them like this, and they have birds in them. Out of the bird, new plant will grow. Okay. Then we have vegetative propagation by the potato, which is also an example, but it's an example of what? It's an example of tuberous stem, right? Ginger,
Yes.
it's an example of rhizome. Potato is an example of tuber, where we learn that they have nodes in them. Out of the node, bird will grow, right? It will germinate and it will grow into a new plant like this. Then we learned
And the
about
node
another.
is also eye. The node is also known as the eye.
Yeah. Then we
Sir,
learned about the yes.
like in on potato, the plant will grow in pink color.
No, no, it will not grow in your plant. Initially, it will look like pink. Okay, now, but once it grows, it's a young plant. But once it grows, the leaves are not going to be usually pink. It's going to be green in color. The color will change once it grows. Okay. Huh. But sometimes this young plant may also not be greenish in color. Getting it now?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we have another underground stem which we have learned about. That was the bulb, right? So we have examples
Mm.
of the
Yes.
onion like this. That is also modified underground storage organ, right? It has both the shoot and the root system in it. Roots grows out of it, leaves grows out of it. So when you will be planting it in the soil, new onion plant will grow out of it. Then we have another underground system that is called as corm. Okay, and that is CORM, corm. Okay, even I have some of the corms growing in my garden. Okay, so it's also an underground stem. It also stores food in them.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I also think I have a few corms in
Hmm.
my garden in my homeland. Like I've seen my I think my like aunts they're cutting it out like
Huh.
because they're
Hmm.
taking
Hmm.
out the what is it
Hmm. Hmm.
called soils.
Okay.
Yeah, like I remember they were cutting it out, but
Hmm. Okay.
once.
By the way, corms takes a very long period of time to grow. They now take a good amount of time to grow. They can take up to a year to in order to fully grow to its size. Getting it? Yep. So corms are there, right? And they have got nodes in them. What do they have? They have nodes in them. Getting it? So they too will have special structures like these are called as, these are the birds. Okay. Then they will have like this, that will be the nodes in them, right? So what will happen? You take this, what we have to do, you can simply cut out a portion from this. Like you just cut this portion from it, cut this portion, and you put it into the soil, cover it with the soil. A new plant is now ready to grow. Getting it, guys? Like this right here, we will call this as a daughter comb. What do we call this? Daughter
Daughter.com.
comb. Okay. Although this question is not asked, but for keeping it relevant, okay, now I'm letting you know that this is called as daughter comb. Like you pluck it out from this carefully from the main comb, you put it in the soil, a new plant is now ready to grow. Getting it, guys? So how will it grow? So it also has bud in it. You see this pointy structure? That is bud. And from this bud, a new plant will now grow further. As you can see here, we have taken a daughter comb here. You can see how it has started to grow. It will grow and leaves will grow out of it like this. Further, it will grow. So we have some examples like crocus, taro are some examples of combs. Then we learned about the runners. So some of the plants, they grow parallel to the ground. They grow very close to the ground. So they have horizontal stems that grows close to the ground, and they have a special tissues called as buds, out of which roots will grow, right? And a new plant can grow. You can even cut it from the main plant, right? Like this baby plant, it can be cut from the main plant and it will grow independently. It will on its own take all the necessary nutrients and water from the soil and will grow as an independent plant. And this horizontal stem, it's known as runner and also called as stolon. Stolon and runner is the name of the horizontal stem that grows close to the soil. So we have examples of coriander, right? Coriander, strawberries, grasses, mint, etc. Okay. Then we have examples of vegetative propagation by the leaves. So we have the example of a very common plant, that's the bryophyllum. So if the leaves of the bryophyllum were to fall, okay, by the way, the leaves have also, they again have birds growing on the margin. So if these leaves were to fall, by the way, you can see here, tiny roots have already started to grow right now. So the moment it will fall on the soil, so the new plants will start to grow from each of the birds here. Not only bryophyllum, but it is observed in another plants also like adiantum and calendula. Okay. So hope Halima, in a shorter span of time, you're able to revise, like you have got to learn the things which you have missed. Okay, no? So we just learned about the natural vegetative propagation that will occur on its own.
Instead,
There won't be human intervention. Yeah.
the class which we have recently, the screenshot we have sent.
Repeat again. You're saying something about a screenshot.
Yes, sir. The classes we have done recently.
Uh-huh.
The screenshot is sent.
No, the screenshots were not sent actually. Okay. Okay. If you guys want, I will share it. Okay, I will share it. Yeah. So I was talking about this one here. That is the artificial vegetative propagation, meaning that there will be intervention by the humans. So the type of vegetative propagation carried out by humans in the field and also in the laboratory, they are called as artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. The most common artificial vegetative propagations are grafting, cutting, layering, and tissue culture. So we are going to learn about each one of them in detail. Also, this artificial vegetative propagation has some advantages. That's why we are practicing it. That's why it's being practiced on a large scale, in fact. Getting it, guys? So we will learn about the
Yeah, so I've also
advantages
heard
of
about
artificial vegetative propagation. Yeah.
So I've also heard that we can also, with artificial vegetative propagation, like
Hmm.
we can also plant plants without using soil.
uh, that is not always true.
I heard
in
about
some
something
cases
like that.
in some cases like in tissue culture, that is true. But at somewhere you will be needing the soil. But the one which you are mentioning about hydroponics. You are
Yeah,
mentioning about the
hydroponic.
hydroponics actually, where you'll be taking the coir of the coconut fruit. You know, the when we eat the coconut, so the seed of the coconut has some fibrous structure in it, right? It's very fibrous. So what is being nowadays done, like we take out that fibrous material from the seed coat, okay, now of the coconut. It's chopped into tiny pieces, into powdered like form,
Oh, yeah.
right? Now, yeah. Then we can put some nutrients in it, okay, now we can soak it in water, and we can grow plants in that too, right? Now, so in the hydroponic, it's quite very interesting. It's a very
I
innovative
know.
approach. I know of a person, okay, who was doing some job. Maybe he was in IT sector, I'm not entirely sure. But he quit his job, and in his 5-story building he started hydroponics. In his 5-story building he started hydroponics, and now he's earning 70 lakh rupees per year. 70 lakhs per annum. That is his salary from
Sir, so
hydroponics.
that's more than like 12 lakhs per month.
No, your calculation isn't correct. That's around 6 lakhs per month. 12, 6 or
Yeah,
72. Getting it. So that's a good amount of money he is making per year, right? So,
yeah, that's a
but there's some limitation of hydroponics also. Like it's more suitable for green leafy vegetables like kale, broccoli, spinach, etc. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, this artificial vegetative propagation, it will have some advantages. Like you don't need seed. Seed is not required to grow the new plant, right? Getting it? You will save lots of time. You will save lots of time, and then you can
yeah.
literally make clone of the plant. Right now, it's a process in which we are producing the offsprings, producing the new plants that are genetically identical to their parent plant. They are genetically similar to the parent plant, meaning that suppose you are having a mango plant in your garden, right? And the mango that grows in that plant is very sweet. It's of big size, it's sweet, the flavor is very good. And you want to make a plant, grow a plant that is having the same kind of features, same type of characteristics in it. So if you were to take the seed from that plant and you try to grow it, so there are less chances that like it may grow, let's say, but let's say the sweetness might not be same, the flavor might not be too good, the size might not be the exact. Getting it? So growing it by seed of that plant will take lots of time. Right now you will have to take care of it. So how about we basically do grafting or tissue culture or some other methods can be used. So this vegetative propagation will have several advantages. Okay, let's talk about this one first of all. That is the uh, that first one will be the cutting. Okay, now by the way, here I have listed down the different artificial vegetative propagations. Namely, these are the four major artificial vegetative propagation we are going to learn about. So first one is cutting. So cutting, it is a method in which cutting from a plant is taken. You take cutting of the stem, you plant it in the soil, okay na? And then a new plant will grow out of it. Okay. Ibrahim, read the paragraph.
Cutting. In this, a part of a plant, specifically a stem or a leaf, is cut and planted in the soil. These cuttings are sometimes treated with hormones to induce root development. The new plant is formed from the adventitious roots developing from the cutting.
Okay, good. See, there are some plants, there are some plants Like we have the rose plant, getting it? We have the rose plant, or we have the bamboo plant. We have the bamboo plant. Other than these, there are some other plants also. Okay, we can take a cutting of this plant. We can take the cutting of the stem of the plant. Okay, we can either put it directly in the soil, or we can treat it with some hormones. Hormones will be the chemical substances that we are going to put in the soil, put in the cut part of the stem, that will trigger the growth of the roots, that will help in the development of the root from that cut portion. Getting it, everyone, what I'm trying to say?
Special nutrients?
You can say special nutrients, or particularly hormones, are those chemical substances now that they will trigger the
Which
growth
triggered
of
the
the.
mind, which triggered the sensory organs to grow like that way.
Yeah, but see, just like there are hormones inside the human body, so there are hormones for the plants also. Okay, now just like there are hormones for the animals, there are some hormones for the plants also. Getting it, no? So the plant hormones, they will help in the development of the roots. Getting it? So we have taken the cutting of the stem like this. Now we are going to apply. Let's say we are applying some hormones to that cut portion. Hormones, and these hormones will help in root development. Okay, now sometimes we can use it. Sometimes even without the help of these hormones, we can grow a new plant. Getting it, Halima, Salman, and Brahim?
So it can work for every plant, right?
Not for every plant. Not for every plant. There's a condition for that also. It will work for only those plants which have got nodes in them like this. Getting it? So now the question is, what is the node? Look over here. This area of the stem, this area of the stem, that is called as node. So the
Which is
node is
connected
that
to the stem,
which is not
which
connected to
connects
the
the leaf
stem,
with the stem.
which from where a branch grows out. From where the branch grows out. So the point in the stem, the portion of the stem from where a branch grows out, that is called as node. Right now. So in order to grow, you have to cut out a portion from here. Right now, from here. Like it should have a node in them. Like look at this here. From where are we cutting it? From here. Getting it now? So that it will have a node in it. Getting it, Halima? Getting it, Ibrahim and Salman? So
Yes.
we are cutting the planted with, and like this portion, the portion which have node in them, it should go inside the soil. It should go inside the soil. Getting it? Like suppose I have taken a cutting from this. Okay, I have taken a stem cutting of the bamboo. Okay, so this portion is having node in it now, so this portion should be sown into the soil. It should go into the soil. I hope that much is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
This portion should be going into the soil, as you guys can see here, right? So we have cut a plant with node point in the soil. The node should be inside the soil. Okay, or suppose we're having this kind of a stem. Okay, no, like, or I mean to say, suppose we have a root of the plant like this, and that root has birds on it. Let's say that this root has bird on it. But I have
Yeah.
already said in the previous classes that these are the special tissues from which a new plant can grow. So you have taken a cutting of the root right now. Now the bird will start to grow, and a new plant will later on will grow. Later on will grow from that bird. So not only from the stem cutting, but even from the root cutting, new plants can be grown. But not in every plant. Is that much clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sulaiman, what about
Sir,
you?
sir, can they work with fruits as well?
No,
Like fruit.
as far as I am concerned, I don't think there are any fruits with which we can do this. Getting it?
Because I think there will be a lot of profit if we use this artificial vegetative propagation because then we can mass produce more fruits
You're saying
and it will be
fruits.
like, yeah.
Directly putting the fruits in the soil, you're saying.
No, no, no. Like I'm talking about fruit trees.
Yeah, for fruit trees. Yeah, see, it's done for some of the fruit trees. For there might be some of the fruit trees. Like for grapes, it is done. For grape, it is done. For sugarcane, it's done. Getting it? Or
Okay.
like we have examples of some of the species of lemon and tamarind that can be propagated using the root cuttings. Getting it, guys? So let me quote some examples of the plants that can be grown. Okay. So from the stem cuttings, plants like a rose can be grown. Okay. Grapes can also be grown. Sugarcane, this can be grown. And there are some other examples also. Okay, like this tapioca and some other also. As for the root cuttings, I gave you the examples like some species of the lemons and tamarind can be grown from the root cuttings. Okay. So this was about the artificial vegetative propagation by the method of cutting, where a portion of a stem or root that is called as cutting is used to grow a new plant. Okay, now that cutting must be put into the soil. Okay, now and sometimes we can use the growth hormones that will help in the root development. So then it will grow into a new independent plant, right? Any questions?
Oh, sorry.
Good. Next, we have the method of grafting. Okay, that is a grafting. So grafting is also simple and it's very effective. So sometimes now two plants will be basically joined together so that both of them can provide you the desired characteristics to the new plant. Getting it? Both of them can provide a desired characteristics to the new plant. So let's suppose you have taken an example. You have two two apple trees. You've got two apple trees. So one of the apple tree, in that the fruit that grows, it's sweet but small in size. It's sweet but it's small in size. Then the another apple tree that you are having, the apple that grows, it's bigger in size but not sweet. Getting it? So in both the plants, there are something that is not very desirable. What I'm saying, in the first apple tree, let us suppose, or not just stick to apple, let's say any tree, for example, we're having. Although grafting can be done for only some of the trees. So suppose I am having a tree, okay, in which the fruit that grows is small. Okay, now? So this is small, but it is sweet. Then I'm having another plant of the same species. The species has to be same, okay? So in this halima, the fruit that I'm having, it's bigger in size, but it's big in size, but it's sour in taste. So what kind of fruit is desirable? A fruit that is big plus sweet, that will be very much desirable to us, no? Yes or no? That's bigger in size, but sweeter also. So how about I join these two plants? But is there any possible way of joining those two plants? So yes, there is. Right now? Yes, there is. So I will take half of this plant and half of this plant. I will take half of both these plants and I will join them together. So one of the plant, it will remain rooted in the soil. Like I mean to say, this plant will remain rooted in the soil only. This remains in soil. So this much portion I am going to cut. This much portion I am going to cut. Okay, now. So this much portion that remains rooted in the soil, I am calling this one as stalk. What am I calling this? As stalk. The part of the plant that will remain rooted in this ground. Okay. And this part will take in all the necessary nutrients and water from the soil. I am visible and audible, no?
Yes.
Okay. Then you will take the stem portion of the another plant. The plant that has small but the sweet fruits growing on it. So this much portion I'm going to take from here. This much portion, let me highlight it. And this portion I am going to basically connect to this plant here. Hope you guys are getting. I'm going to connect this portion to this plant over here.
Sir, but sometimes it can't be successful, right?
We have to be careful while doing it. The experts usually like you can take help of experts while doing it. If we were to do it ourselves
And then it will be
without,
successful.
yeah, then it will be successful. If we were to do it ourselves, so we may not be able to do it properly unless we don't take training or unless we don't know the method. So this part of the plant,
Sir,
okay, now
is
this
it
part
the
of the,
same fruit?
Experience.
yeah, the species has to be same. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Like an apple or grape cannot be done right now.
Yeah.
Right now. So the while the other plant,
Because
the stem of this plant will be now attached to this, and this one will be now called as scion. What do we call this?
Scion.
Scion, as mentioned over here. So this portion is called as scion, and with the help of tapes, they will be tightly connected like this. Okay. So then after a few weeks, we are now we once we have seen that these two plants have started to grow, right? The leaves have started to grow further. Getting it? The stems have joined together. They're acting as one individual plant. Then we may remove the tape here.
Sir, the design they're doing it is so that they can create the same structure inside a stem, which transports the glucose to other parts of the plants, right?
Basically, we're
So
trying
they're,
to integrate the tissue of both the plants so that we get a desired plant which will have good
sir,
characteristics. Yeah.
sir, I've also seen they do the same thing with the human body as well sometimes.
Human body. Yeah, it's done. It some of the
Plastic surgery.
plastic surgery, that's a different thing, and this one is a different thing. Getting a plastic
Yeah,
surgery,
but their
that is
concept is
different.
same. Their
Repeat again.
concept is same. Their concept is same to like connect to together,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 it's different. The concept of grafting done in the plant is different from plastic surgery done in humans. Okay, no? They are both of them are different things. Although they are joining tissues from different sources, okay, no? They are different. Like in the grafting done in the plant, it's for creation of new plants with desired characteristics from the existing one. Also, this new plant that will be growing now, it will not only give you a very good fruit, but it will also be resistant towards the disease. It will not easily get infected with the disease. The fruit
Because
quality
it
is
has
going to be good.
two genes.
Uh,
Because it's gonna have two genes which are going to combine,
hmm,
so it will be more resistant. That's why.
right. Yeah, kind of like that, you can say. We have to go dive deeper into that in order to fully understand that. Then for the
Okay.
in the plastic surgery, basically it aims to restore or damage or missing tissues due to, let's say, someone has suffered from injury, some or disease, birth defects, or simply for cosmetic reasons, for beautification they are doing it. So it involves
Sir, but
different things
like
like,
some people they also take like what is it called? They do plastic surgery to enhance their voice.
yeah, that's a different thing. Let me just complete the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So that will involve plastic surgery in humans involves various techniques. Like a tissue is flap of tissue will be taken from some portion of the body, it will be attached to some other portion of the body. Or implants can be taken sometimes, a skin graft can be taken. So it is basically done to improve the appearance or sometimes to function, to improve the function of the particular part of the body as well. So both of them are kind of different. Okay, now we cannot say they are same. In essence, both grafting and plastic surgery, it involves joining the tissues, but there are different procedures. Their aim is different, method is different, and outcome is also different. Okay, hope that is clear.
I understand.
Huh. What were we talking about? This grafting. In this, let me give you some examples of the plants that are grown. So we have some examples like the mango.
Oh,
Okay.
mango.
Mango is the most popular fruit that can be grown via grafting. You know, there's a man in India called as Mango Man. There's a man in India
I
who is that name is the man is like Kalimullah Khan or something. So he Kalimullah Khan. You may search about him in Google, in YouTube after the class. Kalimullah Khan. So this person has grown 300 different mangoes. He has grown how many? 300 different varieties of mangoes on a single 120-year-old tree. On a single 120 years old mango tree, he has been able to grow 300 different varieties of mangoes using the
How
method
is
of
that
grafting.
possible?
Isn't that interesting?
How?
Yeah.
Like, how does he able to do that? Like, you have to keep on making up, like,
Like
right?
he has become expert in his art. Okay, no? He has been doing it for so long. So he must know the method very well. Okay, no? He must be the master of the method. So there's no question like how he does it. Like
So, like, so that's what made him rich because when he sells it, they're high quality, so they are more priced, right?
there isn't any I didn't say anything about him being rich or poor. I'm not sure about his like that thing. That's a different thing. Getting it. So
Okay.
that was all about grafting. So a mango can be grafted. Other than mango, there are some other plants also that can be grafted. Okay, no? Like other than mango, I think guava can also be grafted. Guava can be grafted,
Wow.
mango can be grafted, and there are many other plants also that can be grown by the method of grafting. Okay, no? So let me write some examples. You have mango, you have guava, mango is there, guava is there. I think there's some more. Other than mango and guava, no, there are a few more. I'm not able to recall. I will let you know about that. Okay. Then we have the method of layering. Then we have the method of layering. So in this method, look at the plants over here. Like the horizontal stems are growing and they're growing very close to the ground, right? Getting it? If you were to remember, earlier we did learn about the runners, right?
Yes,
They're
kind of
all
like runners.
they're kind of like runners, but slightly different. Here, the horizontal
They're
stems
just
were
modified.
growing, not modified, but they're actually a bit different. Like these horizontal stems are growing close to the ground on their own. They have not been bent by humans. Okay, now we are not bending it. But in this case, the stems are bent close to the ground. Look over here.
Like,
The
they're
stems are being,
artificially modified.
yeah. Like look over here by the help of these hooks. You can see the hooks over here, right? So with the help of the hooks, we have forcefully bent these stems and they are now being made to grow close to the ground, right?
Oh, so the
Then
nodes are made are put in the soil, right?
no. Hold on. And at different positions, they will be covered with soil. Okay, na? At various different locations, they will be covered with soil, right? then the portion of the stem that is covered with the soil, so adventitious roots will start to grow. By the way, adventitious roots are the roots that grows from parts other than the main root of the tree. Getting it?
Oh,
Getting it, Haliman, everyone, about the adventitious roots?
Yes, sir.
They are the roots
yeah,
that.
like most of them they have roots on their stems also.
Hmm. So basically, when when a seed germinates, now suppose we have this gram, we have this gram, also called as chana, right? Getting it?
Yeah.
So when this grows, so we see that from this a radical grows out now.
Yes,
Radical will grow, right? Then later on, plumule will also grow out of it. Plumule, you understand? Plumule will also grow. So this plumule further converts into shoot system. Getting it, guys? The part that will grow above the soil, and the radical further grows into the root system. So in most of the plants, roots grows out of the radical. Getting what I'm trying to say? Roots grows from the radical when the seed germinates. So the radical and then the plumule, these things grows out of the gram or some other seeds, right? So the main root grows from the radical. The main root grows from the radical. But the roots that grows other than the radical, now, like this plant has grown, right? Now the roots are growing from this part also, from these birds also. So these roots that are growing now, we are calling them as adventitious roots because they haven't grown, because they are not the main root. They haven't grown from the radicals. They're growing from part other than the radical, like from the stem. Is that thing clear to everyone?
yes,
Right? So they can grow from stems. Sorry, they can even grow from the leaves. Remember, we learned about the bryophyllum.
yes.
From that, it can grow. Getting it now? So that is the thing. So the
Fruits
part.
can also grow from
Mhm.
fruits as well.
Fruits. No, no, not from the fruits. Not from the fruits. Okay. So we were
Or
learning
like, can we grow fruit like plants that produce fruit?
plants that produces fruits. Why the method of layering?
Yeah.
Not particularly sure about the examples of the plant, but there are some other plants that grows by the method of layering. Okay, look over here.
Okay.
So we have forcefully attached these stems close to the ground with the help of these hooks. Then we have covered them with soil. We covered them with soil. Then later on, what we observe that adventitious roots have started to grow out of it, and shoot system also has developed from it. So we are seeing that new plant will now start to grow out of it. So that is the method of layering in which we have forcefully bent the branch, the stem of the plant to the soil while it is still attached to the parent plant. See, it's still attached to the parent plant. So while it's still being attached to the parent plant, we are seeing that new plants have grown here. Then later on, you can cut these new plants and they will start to grow independently. So
When
what
they're big enough, right? When they're
exactly?
big enough to be
Yeah.
independent.
So we can cut these plants and they will start to grow independently. Then they will start to grow independently, right? So this
So
method is
how much percent of like the plants are made using artificial vegetative propagation?
uh,
Like a lower
about the
percentage, right?
I don't I'm not sure if there's some kind of survey done to find it out how many plants are grown by like how many plants are being grown by vegetative propagation. Okay.
Like
But
10%,
we can
10,
make some
20.
estimate. Yeah, like 10-15% we can say. Getting it?
Because like most of them will be like like normal vegetative propagation, because like most of the people don't have the enough education about it.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the farmers are still using the traditional methods of farming. Getting it?
Yeah.
They're still sticking to the traditional
But in the
methods.
future, it's going to be all about hydroponics and artificial vegetative propagation.
Yeah, particularly techniques of hydroponics and some other vegetative propagation methods, they are particularly flourishing in those areas where there's a scarcity of water and soil. Okay, now, so that is the thing. Okay, so right now, like it's kind of difficult to give a precise percentage for how many plants are propagated vegetatively. Okay, yeah, so that was about the layering. Hope you have understood this. Okay. So then we have some examples of plants also that are growing via this layering. Like some examples includes like flowers like jasmine. You have heard about jasmine?
Yes,
You have heard about this, Harima,
I think
right?
it's used for making
Some
vanilla
fruits
ice
like
cream.
grapevine.
No, no,
No,
no.
no, that's a different thing. Vanilla ice cream is made using the vanilla extract. Vanilla is a different thing. Okay, no? So
Mm,
you have grapevine also. Okay, no? Grapevine is also there. Getting it? So these are the common examples of the plants that are grown by the method of layering. Okay. Any questions so far? Any doubts?
no, sir.
Okay. So jasmine is there, grapevine is there. You can even include the gooseberry also in this. Okay, no? Gooseberry. Next is the tissue culture, the most interesting artificial vegetative propagation. See, there are some plants which are either endangered or they are almost at the verge of extinction. Getting it? Like they are found in only some parts or only few in number. So it becomes very important to protect them, to conserve them, to populate them, right? So particularly in order to preserve those kind of plants, we will use a method of tissue culture. In this, what we do, we will take s- a sample from different parts of the plant. Like we can take a tiny amount of sample from the stem or from the leaf or from the roots, right? So tissue sample is scraped from the parent plant. It's a small amount of it is taken out with the help of a blade. Then we'll be putting it in a special kind of substance called as agar. It's placed in a special kind of substance called as agar,
Oh.
which contains
So it
grow
urges for growth. It
exactly,
improves its growth.
exactly. It contains nutrients in it. It contains hormones in it,
Hormones,
right?
hormones,
Over here,
which trigger the growth of them.
exactly. It has special hormones and nutrients in it which will promote its growth, right? So auxin
So it
over
could
here
even
is a
make it
hormone. Yeah,
like it could make the plant have more quality
the quality will be there, but
as well.
it will help in growing lots of plants in a short span of time. So these samples, right? Now it will start to develop into tiny plantlets like this. Okay. These plantlets are still not ready to be directly put into the soil, right now. So they are put into an organic fertilizer called as compost. Those tiny plantlets are now put into the compost. Compost is rich in it's rich in nutrients. Okay, na? So it's an organic substance in which the plantlets will grow. Once they have grown to a suitable size, now we can grow them in pots or in the main land, in the field. They can be grown. So this technique is particularly helpful in increasing the number of rare and endangered plant species that are unable to grow under natural conditions because the habitat is damaged. Okay, no, the natural habitat is damaged
Oh,
because of which they are
so
not growing. Yeah.
Okay, because the plants are adapted to a specific type of environment,
Yeah,
which is altered due to artificial causes.
due to human activities, right now.
Okay.
Getting it? As you know, there are different factors for the germination of the seed, for growth of the plant. So if the
Like the
habitat has
warmth, it shouldn't be too cold or
exactly.
too hot,
Mm, mm.
and the
So
quality of the soil as well.
exactly. So here there's a human intervention, right? And this method is obviously a asexual method of growth of the plants now, right? There
Yes.
isn't any involvement of the flowers. Pollination is not happening. Nothing here. So in this, we are taking the plant tissues, plant cells. They are grown in a nutrient-rich artificial medium, right? And it's growing the plants, right? So it basically takes a small piece of a plant, right? Like it could be the tip of the stem, it could be a bird or tip of the leaf. Then it will be grown
Sir,
in this
but
controlled
I
environment.
don't know why, sir, but all of these things are like kind of common to something I've learned about. Like in what can I say? Like in some, like in one place, they like take shrimp is like a part of the shrimp, and then they like not shrimp. They take healthy stem cells from a shrimp, and then they put it in a special artificial medium, which
Hmm.
helps in the growth of that stem cell, and it grows into a shrimp, and it has more quality, and it doesn't even need any medicines, so that it doesn't have any disease. So like you can grow many of them without even killing a single shrimp. Like
So you're saying we can grow shrimps. Uh, you're saying something like, can you summarize the question? Like, what exactly is the question?
yeah, like we use the stem cells from the shrimp to grow other shrimp.
So we are using stem cells from the shrimps to grow other shrimps. You're saying.
Yes.
Okay, there are some companies I have heard. I think I have heard of some companies right now. Like there are some lab-grown
Yeah,
shrimps
in
also.
Singapore.
Yeah,
Singapore.
yeah. In Singapore, you're saying. So there are some lab-grown shrimps also. Okay, no, lab-grown shrimps where they'll be using the special. They'll be using the stem cells. You're saying, right? So they will extract the stem cells from the shrimp, right now. It could be from their muscles, let's say, also from other tissue. Then they will be basically putting into a nutrient rich medium like this or some other. They will be putting it at some temperature that will promote the growth, that will enhance the growth, getting it. And those stem cells will now further start to take shape. It will start to um, differentiate itself
It's kind
into.
of like growing it.
Mhm.
It's kind
You-
of like growing.
it will basically grow eventually into structure of the meat of the shrimp, getting it now, and then it will be basically served, it will be cooked. So it's an interesting concept, getting it now. But the cost is very high. Cost of growing these lab shrimps, okay, no, lab grown shrimps is quite high, getting it. So
Because they
it's
need
not
a
a.
lot of special nutrients and
Mm.
heating machines, which keep
So
it
it's
at the exact.
so right now it's not very economical, getting it now. So like they
Only like
need to work on
only
reducing the
need
cost.
more like places with more economy could sustain such types of
Yeah, they can
structures.
sustain also. They are switching to such methods because if suppose the shrimps are not grown there, I'm not sure whether it grows there or not. But if it is not growing over there, so if we have to import it from other areas, so the import cost will also be counted. So ultimately, it might be more expensive than the lab grown shrimps. So that's why they might be growing it. Anyways, so the vegetative propagation we have learned, natural and artificial both. So it has some advantages. So the plants that are grown by this method, they grow fast because they are not growing with the help of the seeds now, right? They will be bearing fruits and flowers ahead of time. Even before the time, they will be bearing fruits and flowers. They will be resistant towards disease. They will not get infected easily. And the new plants are the exact copy of the parent plant. There is basically clone of the parent plants.